Do you ever look around at the world and think, oh my goodness, how is God ever going to change this? How can God bring this world back to himself? Well, when we read Acts chapter 1, uh, you can't help but feel excitement, especially when you get to verse 8, because it says, "But you will receive power when the Holy Spirit comes on you, and you will be my witnesses in Jerusalem, Judea, Samaria, and to the ends of the earth." There are two things that really stand out to me when I read that verse. The first thing is power. We will receive power of the Holy Spirit. If you're a believer, you have the power of the Holy Spirit in you at all times. There is no reason for us to be fearful or to be discouraged about things that are going on in the world, because God is living inside of us. The third person of the Trinity is living inside of us and acting on our behalf, guiding us along the way, showing us what we need to do. We just need to learn to lean into him and trust him and listen to him and be able to hear his voice when the world is so noisy. The second thing that jumps out to me is Jesus said, "You will." He didn't say you might or you could. He said, "You will be my witnesses." When the Holy Spirit lives inside you and is active in your life, you can't help but be a witness to the things that God has done in your life. When the Holy Spirit is inside you, you can't help but tell people about Jesus. You can't help but appreciate the things that God does in your everyday life. You have this yearning inside for goodness. You have this yearning inside for justice. And you have this yearning inside to work for God and to constantly be doing something to further God's kingdom, because you know that that's all that matters. And Jesus says, "You will be my witnesses." He has full confidence that the power of the Holy Spirit will drive you to be a better witness and will give you the strength to be a better witness. Because you know as well as I do, it's hard to follow Jesus sometimes. It's hard to do what God asks you to do. It's hard to keep your mouth shut when you want to say something. It's hard to sit back and let God fight a battle for you instead of you trying to fight it. It's hard to rest knowing that the Holy Spirit is at work and not striving all the time. When I read this verse, I also think about Psalm chapter 46, when it says, "Be still and know that I am God. Cease striving and know that I am God." We work so hard to do things, and we need to just rest in the Holy Spirit, listen to him, and do exactly what he tells us to do. And we will be God's witnesses to the ends of the earth. That's what stands out to me when I read Acts chapter 1. Come back tomorrow and we'll talk about Acts chapter 2.